Welcome everyone to our webinar, pre-arrival webinar series, important documents and requirements. You will be meeting today John Holbrooks, Ann Krantz, and myself, Christine Perlmutter. So we're first going to start with John. John, please introduce yourself.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is John Holbrooks. I'm sure you've received more than one email from me over the past few months. Hi, I'm real. I'm not scam. I promise I'm real. So I oversee all student finances for collections. If you have any money trouble, banking trouble, you can always come to me for money. Feel free to come to me about other problems if you have them, but money is going to be my specialty for you, okay? I've worked in banking before, and so I know a lot of regulations that I can help you with. If you have any problems, please let me know. And make sure you pay your fees. We'll cover that too. Okay.
Right.
So she's going to be going through some slides, everyone, and I will talk about each one and the importance of it. And if you have any questions after, please feel free to ask, okay? So you can take a picture of this if you would like. I'd recommend it, okay? Put it on your phone. This is to view your balance and how to log in. The Pay Into Global is the In General Pay site. I've sent it to all of you, I believe, unless you are just a new student added to our listing. But all of you should have this. Any questions you have, you can email directly to me at john.holbrooks@intoglobal.com. I do have hundreds of students that I oversee from 2 universities, but I promise I will get to you as soon as I can. So I do appreciate your patience. Once you do make payments of any kind, we always send you an updated statement. International wire transfers can take time, so do expect delays, okay? Okay, next slide. Again, please take a picture of this. This is a step-by-step instruction. Some of you have an application ID with INE or INA. Doesn't mean anything different. It just is how you're numbered, okay? That's your personal ID. When you make a payment with a wire transfer or an offline bank transfer, please do include that so that we know who the money's for. Every semester, I sit on tens of thousands of dollars and I don't know who it is, so I can't apply the payment. If you have already made a payment and you do not see your payment, email me the receipt of your transaction and I will look into your bill, okay? I appreciate it. Okay, next slide. So here's just some in general banking and USA tips. Some of this you may already know, but I always like to cover it because every country is different. When you open a USA bank account, and our staff and myself, we can help you when you arrive, you will need your passport, I-20 or visa, an email, a USA phone number, and an address. When you first arrive, you may not have a USA phone number. That's okay. You can add it later through online banking. Every bank in America has online banking, and you can update a lot of information from the convenience of your home. You will definitely ask for a student account. A student account or college checking account is going to not have monthly fees. My job is to help save you money too, okay? So don't go for some really high-end bank account. You don't need that. Never share any information with anyone, even best friend. Just keep it always private because it is your money, it is your profile. It's very important. There is a lot of scam in the world in every country. If you get a text or an email from someone you don't know, do not click a link, do not respond. Even if they say they are from the bank, don't respond. Just call your bank directly and check on your account. If you do travel, set up travel plans. You can do it on apps on the phone. I have it for Wells Fargo and Regions and Chase Bank for myself. So if I travel, they know not to block my account, okay? It's just for protection. Set up alerts. This way, if money goes out of your account or comes in, you will know it right away. And there are lots of banks in Boston, many banks in Boston. So you do have plenty of options of what you can choose from. Just be mindful that Boston has lots of banks, but if you travel in the US, there may not be a bank in another state. So do think about that before you travel, okay? Next slide. So communication is very different in many cultures. For Anne, for Christine, the rest of our staff, and myself, over communicating is not a problem. We want to know all your situations. And for me specifically, I want to know about you and your money, and if you're in trouble or if you're having issues. In our culture, if you don't tell us you have a problem and you avoid the situation, that's very bad professionally. It's not good as a student, and we think you're not serious about your studies. So whatever your problem, come to us for help. In our culture, we really do want to help students. We care about you. This is why we're here, okay? So always communicate. Short version, if you're asking about loans in America, you can't get one. You have to be a US citizen or a permanent resident who owns a home or has collateral. So you cannot get a loan. You might be able to get a student credit card, but usually they are secured. Secured credit card means it puts up your money, okay? And I can explain more in person or if you have additional questions. If you are a sponsored student, this is very important. I don't think anyone here is sponsored, but if you are sponsored, your country will give you an official financial guarantee. This is a piece of paper that says we will pay for the student, and you need to give that to me. If I don't have that, you are responsible for paying. And sometimes that can be a lot of money, but I think we're okay. I don't recognize any sponsored students, but that's just in case. Also, money is very critical in the USA. So do honor your payments. When deadlines occur, they are set for a reason. Okay. You can ask Anne and Christine. They make payments on cars or houses or credit cards, myself included. If we miss our payments, we get late fees. If we continue to get late fees, that's a very bad thing. Okay. The same goes for domestic and international students. Okay. Always make payments on time. Do not discuss your personal finances with other students. Culturally, it can make someone feel not as rich, or it may embarrass them. So please discuss it with staff only. Okay. That's why we're here. Next slide. Okay, so this is your question, everyone. To ask me questions at this time, I do have to leave after this. I apologize, and I do appreciate Anne and Christine letting me go first because I have another orientation to do at this time. But if you have any questions, I don't care if you think it's really smart or possibly embarrassing. I don't care. Ask any questions you have about money, please.
Yep, this is Akshay from India.
Okay.
I was asking that can we make the fee payment using our Forex card?
So for payments, I will discuss Forex. So a Forex card, although it is well known, Forex cards generally have problems in USA. I have seen Forex denied multiple times at banks, or they charge lots of fees. With the N2Pay link that I have provided everyone, we can accept Visa and MasterCard. Only Visa and MasterCard is how you can pay online, or you can do a bank wire transfer. Do not use Flywire. Flywire, we do not accept, and you will lose money. So please do not use that. Also, you will see online your Suffolk account, which may show fees from your Suffolk student, and then you have your N2 fees. Pay your N2 fees, okay? In our program, you are into Suffolk students, so you pay us first. If you have a problem with your Suffolk account, send me a screenshot and I will help. But no, we don't take Forex. And do be mindful that once you do arrive in the USA, Akshay, and for the rest of the students, open a USA bank account right away. There are many students who have not opened a bank account and they have problems. So please do open one.
Could you please share the link of getting the status of the Suffolk account online, like you mentioned, and also that basically I got all my money transferred into my Forex account, so it might take a couple of days for me to open a bank account and then make the payment. And in case it doesn't work, then we have internet banking accounts in India. And I mean, the only problem with that is that they do not let us enter a complete application number. Like, for example, my application number is IN, and then it's colon and E and so on. So it's not going to accept the colon in it. So I'll just remove the colon in case it comes to that. It's a heads up. It will help you identify my payment, my fee payment with my application ID.
Correct. Yeah, so as far as the Forex, do whatever's necessary. Every bank is different. I understand if it takes a couple more days, that's totally fine. My goal is to have all students paid before November 1st. November 1st, late fees do occur, and I don't want any student to have a late fee because it makes me be a bad guy. I don't want to be a bad guy, but it's policies, okay? So actually, you have time still to adjust your payments for Forex. Send me an email for additional questions like you just asked, and I'll respond to them in order to keep a record for you, okay? And I saw a question from iPhone Iran. You asked for recommend the US bank. So there's several banks in Boston, and there's a lot of banks. I know that a lot of students use Bank of America. And then Ann and Christine can also tell you what banks are closest to the Suffolk office as well, or wherever you're going to live to. You can also look on Google Maps when you do arrive, and it will show you what banks are close. I always recommend a close bank, but I know Bank of America is everywhere there pretty much, and they are a solid bank, so I recommend them. But yes, Ann and Christine can also recommend close ones too, depending on where you live. We want to make it convenient for you as possible.
So just so everyone knows, during orientation, we have set aside time to take students to the bank to open their accounts. We have a relationship with Bank of America that is very close to Suffolk University. They know that we are bringing our students to them. They have a very good college bank account system that they give us. And so just know that you can get your bank somewhere else. You can get your bank before orientation, but if you don't, we do have time to take you to the bank on Tuesday when you arrive.
Thank you for that, Christine. Does anyone else have any questions at this time for me? Because I promise my emails are going to be delayed right now because I have about 165 in my queue. I'm going as fast as I can. I'm not lying. I really have that many. But if any of you have any other questions, deadline. Okay. So the deadline for payment was actually August 1st. However, in reality, I understand that students may wait for their visa. So I will say this to be fair. All payments need to be made as soon as possible. November 1st, okay? In about 2 weeks. Today is the 16th, so we are halfway through the month. In 2 weeks, payments will receive late fees, okay? So it's very important that you pay as quick as possible. If you pay this week, that's fantastic. Next week, great. The week after, if you're cutting it very close, okay? So November 1st.
Wait, John, I'm sorry, did November 1st?
Or
November
September
1st. I'm sorry. I apologize. I said November, I'm sorry. September 1st.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
September
sorry.
1st.
September. Okay. Yes,
Thank
before
you.
September 1st. September 1st, anything that is still outstanding will have a late fee. Thank you for correcting me. I'm sorry. My mind is everywhere right now. But yeah. So the week of orientation, I will be there in person in Boston. I can meet each one of you. If you have questions, and we can discuss your finances in private, to let me know your situation, okay? But once you pay, please let me know. And again, I do have money that has not been claimed. I don't know whose it is. So if you've paid and do not see your payment on the N2 link, email me and let's get that taken care of, okay? Let's see here. Are there any more questions?
I am in Boston. Akshay from India. I am in Boston today, and I've already made it. So, at what time can I visit the university and meet you guys?
You can come today. So I'm not there, but you can come today to meet our staff. And Christine looks like they're in the office, okay? But any student is welcome anytime to come to the center. I wouldn't recommend it on Saturday or Sunday because we won't be there, but you can come anytime to the center to visit staff. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
And I
And
think
then, so here's, I'll type in the chat too, my emails. I have 2 emails that I do work off of. So if you receive an email from either one, it is me. I have 2 emails, okay? Give me 1 second, I'll type this in. And then from there, we can turn it over to Ann, and then I will hop off. So thank you both for letting me go, by the way.
You bet.
And I think a student asked for a link to something. If you could put in the chat the link that you're hoping to provide to get, I might be able to provide it. So, or I can Teams it to John, but which kind of link you're hoping for?
So these are my 2 emails. The John Holbrooks is usually my Into Suffolk one. I'm getting it edited because of a new laptop, so give me a moment to fix that. But I will provide the link in the chat to pay as well. Give me 1 second. And then Ann, you can go ahead if you want.
Okay, thanks, John.
And
Hi, everyone.
so,
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Ann Krantz. I am the enrollment manager for Into Suffolk. That means I help students complete their enrollment process, make sure that they are all set to enroll in classes, register for their programs. And I also interface with Suffolk University once you're here to ensure kind of a smooth transition as you continue through your programs. So I recognize some of you, and I know you've been getting emails from me. So it's nice to have a chance to speak to you in person. So my piece of this morning is actually pretty simple and quick. I would love to hear from all of you. If you have not received your visa, if you have a visa appointment coming up, please let us know that and also let me know if there's anything that I can do to help support you in that process. Hopefully everyone has received a outreach from Laura Nye or someone on our PASS team. PASS is actually a service offered through Into that helps students through their visa process. I know that for some students, this goes very smoothly. For others, it can be confusing and frustrating and time consuming. So just know that we're here to help. You can reach out to me anytime via email. And if you have received an invitation from Laura, Nye, or someone from our PASS team, please feel free to reach out to them with any questions about getting your visa. So if there's anybody here who has information on when their visa appointment is or when they're, where they are in their visa process, please feel free to share that with me directly. And like I said, you can always email me anytime if you have any questions or concerns about getting your visa. I'll also take this opportunity to let everyone know. I know some of you have already provided your arrival details to us, so thank you for that. For those of you who haven't, Christine will be touching on arrival details a bit later this morning, but just from my standpoint, it is really helpful to have that arrival detail information so that we can confirm, I mean, your enrollment is confirmed, but just so we can confirm when you're going to arrive and be sure to be able to help you have a smooth arrival and have everything set for you here when you arrive. I know you know, for some of you, or for many of you, it's probably the first time that you've been coming to Boston, and maybe your first time in the US. So we're here to help, and we want to make it as smooth as possible. So please email me if you have any questions or to share your visa appointment date with me. Okay. Okay. On to the important documents that we will require when you arrive. So everybody up until this point has not been required to submit their official transcripts. When you arrive, we will ask that you submit transcripts from either your high school for those in the undergraduate programs, or for the graduate students, your college or university transcripts. These need to be official copies from your institution. They must be sealed and brought here to us at Suffolk, or they can also be sent from your institution. That's fine too. We do require these official documents by October 1st. So we recognize that a lot of institutions are on summer break, and people can be hard to reach. So you will have time to request your documents from your institution in September, and you can provide them to us by October 1st. You will hear a little bit more about this during orientation. We will offer everybody here and all new students a chance to talk to either myself in enrollment, and I also have we have two Suffolk admissions representatives, Megan and Stella. Some of you may recognize Megan or Stella's name because they also issue all of our visas. So you may have heard their names or interacted with them throughout your I-20 issuance process. But myself, Megan, and Stella will be on hand in person to answer any questions you may have about your transcripts. I think I just saw a question in the chat. Oh, Ashkay. We do ask that the transcript be in a sealed envelope. Your degree, we do accept copies of your degree. That's fine. But the transcript, we do ask, if it's a physical document, that it be in a sealed envelope from your institution.
So there's an issue with that, basically.
Yeah.
See, most of the institutions in India, they do not, go with the online transcript thing. Okay, so even if I, place a request from here, there would be someone manually in India who has to go to the university and get the documents posted to the university or delivered to me. So at the time, I did not have, confirmation that I was coming to Suffolk. And I applied to about four of the universities. So I had to unwrap my transcript and get the scanned copies delivered to the universities to meet the documentation requirements. So I do have the official transcript. It's with the original seal and everything, but it's not in an envelope. It's a physical copy with me. And I have additional copies, both of them are official and they're from the university. So.
Okay. So let me liaise with my Suffolk admissions experts. So they they're both going to be in the office today, Megan and Stella. So let me speak to them and see what options we have for you to make it easier for you to either get us a sealed copy or see what we can do to accept what you have now, Ashkay. Okay, so if you happen to be able to stop by the office today, I know you said you're in Boston, please do. We'll all be here in person today, so we can touch base in more detail about the best way forward.
Yeah, so I knew that the transcripts have to be enclosed in an envelope. So for that, I brought my original mark sheets, from the time
Yep.
So I have the original mark sheets. So both the mark sheets and the transcript almost have the same data. So for the cross-checking part or verification part,
Yeah.
the officials, like the official people can actually verify everything.
Okay, that sounds good. Like I said, I'll have to double check with Megan and Stella because these requirements are Suffolk University requirements, and so they're going to be able to know in detail whether that is going to definitely work or not. So if you want to reach out or stop by later today, we can confirm.
Definitely. I'll see you after 11.
Perfect.
If that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right. Are there
Okay, I
any?
see another question in the chat. No, that's absolutely fine if they're all in one single envelope. If I'm understanding your question correctly, that's completely fine to have them together.
But I have opened my envelope already. So is there any problem?
Got it. Okay, so similar scenario. Okay. Let me double check with Megan and Stella, and I will reach back out to you to let you know exactly what whether that's going to be okay or not.
A lot more easier to add on to another note, like in
Yeah.
case the university needs us to verify from our previous university that
Yeah.
these are indeed our official transcripts. We can, I can personally send someone at the university
Yeah.
and like mail a copy to their official email address, looping the university officials in, and that person can simply ask the university to revert back on that email. Okay, I
Okay.
can try that, but that's highly unlikely as it's India, so it's more of paperwork, less of computers, less of
Yeah.
emails and stuff. So yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for that. That's good to know as a potential option, but I will check in with Megan and Stella and circle back on that.
Sure. Although I'm having that envelope with me. So
Yeah.
please confirm me that is it fine with me or not.
You have it with you?
I have that envelope with me and all the
Yes.
transcripts also. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Let me just double check with Megan and Stella, and I will circle back with you to see if we will need anything else.
Yes, I have the envelope too for the
Okay.
heads up.
Okay, perfect. I see a lot of same scenarios. So maybe what I can do, since it sounds like at least 3 of you are in the same boat, Ashkay, I might see you later today, so we can talk about it then. And then I can circle back on exactly what the options are if you have official transcripts from an envelope that is not sealed. So I'll get some clarity on that and circle back with you.
I think we have a
Okay.
hand up.
Yeah, hi, I have a question too. A similar scenario, but my school transcript come with a stamp logo from school, but they use a kind of a rubber stamp which make my school logo pop up. Is it acceptable? Because they did not provide any sealed envelope.
Oh, so you're saying they didn't provide a sealed envelope for an official transcript?
Yes, but they gave us a piece of paper with school logo and a rubber stamp, which it's not ink, but it's the school logo pop-ups. They use a pressure.
Okay, I see. Then I think that'll work. And like I said, if you bring it with you, we will have time during orientation to go one by one and talk to everybody here to take a look at exactly what you have, what documentation you have, and what it looks like, and then resolve any questions face to face as well. And we'll have plenty of time to do that.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we have any more questions for Anne before we switch over?
Here, And I can put my email in the chat as well. And like I said, I will circle back on the question that I see at least 3 of you had about having the official documentation in the envelope, but missing the seal. I'm going to circle back with everybody on that. And then, like I said, we'll also have plenty of time to talk about this kind of face-to-face, one-on-one in orientation if other questions come up. And email me about your visa appointment if you haven't already.
All right. While Anne is putting in her email address to the chat, I will go ahead and continue.
Thank you all. I'm also going to jump off, but please email me anytime with any questions. Like John, I do have 2 email addresses, and either of them are fine. And it's nice speaking to all of you. Thanks, Christine.
All right. Thank you, Anne. All right. So I'm Christine Perlmutter, the Assistant Director of Student Experience. What that means is basically I'm your customer service manager. And we want to make sure you're having a very positive student experience. And if at any time you are not, then I want you to please come see me. Do not suffer in silence. We can work on any problem or issue as best as we can. And if I can't help you, I can point you to someone else who might be able to help you. Our department does everything in our power to make your time at Into the best possible. All right, so one thing we do is make sure that you arrive on time and do everything you're supposed to do or need to do to make your transition smooth. One thing is all students must do e-check-in, and we're going to explain e-check-in in more detail in the next webinar. But if you can go ahead and do it in advance, that's great, and I'll show you how to do it. All students must attend orientation. Orientation is required for everyone. It's August 29th to September 1st. It is 9 to 5 each day. It is it's like boot camp. It is a lot, but we're giving you all the resources you need during orientation, teaching you everything that's important for your transition to Suffolk University. For those living in the dormitories, move-in date is August 28th between 9 and midnight. First day of classes might be Tuesday, September 5th if you have night classes. If you have day classes, which most of you will, your first day will be September 6th. All right, this is how to do e-check-in. You can take a picture of this page. You would log into this website, and I can put the link. Oh, maybe I cannot. No, I can't copy it at this time. Sorry. But we can put the link in the chat at the end. You're going to put in your credentials, click on students, find my personal information, and then the e-check-in screen. Please read and complete each form carefully before checking the box and clicking submit. This is where you're going to give your local address and local information. It's very important for us to have this information, and you must do e-check-in before you arrive. So before the first day of orientation. All right, as all of you know, you have to submit immunization records. Some of you have already, thank you. For those who haven't yet, please know your immunization record must be in English. You can get it certified by a translator. You can get the doctor to write in the English and then give his seal or signature. The immunization record must state your name, your date of birth, and it must be signed by a doctor. All right. We have a student experience webpage where we have the health portal where you can upload your immunization record, and I can show you that afterwards. All right, so what should you do with your immunization records? You're required to upload them to the student health portal. You'll be able to access your student health portal with your email and password. So make sure everyone that you've been able to get into your Suffolk email, that you have a username, you have a password, and that it works, because you're going to need that for everything. The required immunizations are here, listed here, and the link is here to upload your document.
And also for these students who do not have their immunization records because of the, you can say, back in time. So, I mean, I suppose you told me in the last meeting we had that, you know, there are official, you can say, university doctors that are going to, health professionals that are going to speak with the students and proceed as per the immunization requirements. So in that case, we do not have to upload them, right?
If you don't have immunization records, then you will be, everyone during orientation will be meeting with our health center for 20 minutes, and you can explain to them that you don't have immunizations or you don't have a record. They're going to require you to make an appointment to get your blood work. They want to see in your blood work if you have the antibodies to the immunizations. If you don't, they're going to give you the immunizations themselves. They're going to have you make an appointment to come back to the office to get your shots. And they're going to want you to have all the shots that are required. It might take some time. If you do not get your immunizations, you will not be able to register for your spring classes. They're very strict with the policy of immunizations. So there might be some students who are unable to register for spring until they get the immunizations taken care of. So the earlier you do that, the better. Maybe even within the next couple of weeks, get some immunizations if you're able to before you come here. Okay. All students will have an appointment with the Counseling, Health, and Wellness. We call it CHW. You might hear us say CHW a lot. We're relating to the health center. So you will have an appointment with CHW to go over your immunization records. They can schedule a blood test. They can make appointments to get vaccines. And your Suffolk medical insurance will cover the cost of the vaccines and the blood test. So you don't have to worry about that. And everyone receives the Suffolk University health insurance automatically as part of your tuition bill. Unless you waive that and you have a different insurance company. But Suffolk University is very strict when it comes to what type of insurance company you can have. If you do want an insurance waiver, please let me know. All right, any last questions about immunizations before I move on?
Just the check-in part, Akshay just said, the check-in part, like e-check-in that all the students have to perform. I will be like speaking with you in the office later today and, you know, get a bit of guidance in that. Okay, if you don't mind.
Yes, we can go over that together.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna look to see if there are any hands or anything in the chat. Okay. All right, so arrival. It's very important for us to know when you're arriving So please complete the arrival details form. It's in our student experience website, and I can give you the form later if you'd like. Especially if you're moving into dormitory housing, so living on campus, it's very important for us to be able to tell Res Life when you're moving into the dormitories. Everyone else, it's just good for us to know when you're arriving. So if you can please complete the form and give us that information if you haven't already. I know some people have. Thank you. All right. Don't forget to learn Canvas. You have a couple weeks now before classes begin. It's going to help you to know Canvas already. Canvas is the learning management system used in all classes at Suffolk University. Your professor will put the homework in here. They will, you will submit your assignments in Canvas. It will have a calendar of your assignments and what's coming up. And your teachers use this as a form of communication with you. And it's important to learn it. All classes use it, just so you know. So maybe start practicing now before classes start, so you're comfortable with it if you have time in the next 2 weeks. All right.
How do we get the link to Canvas?
Yes. So the link is here. Yeah. What I'll do at I think what I can do, what I'm going to do is after I stop the recording, I'm going to go back and put the links in the chat. And for people at home watching, the links are there on the PowerPoint, and you can also Google or search for like Canvas Suffolk University, and it will come up. If you can't find the link, just email me. I'll put my email in the chat right now. Email me and ask. And my email is kperlmutter@suffolk.edu for those at home. All right, this is for students who are undergraduate, meaning you're coming in as a freshman. You are an IYO or UTP student. So UTP are transfer students. They're not freshmen, but they're coming in undergrad. For students in, so this is not for graduate students, not for students who already have their bachelor's degree. This is only for students who need a bachelor's degree. And for you, you must take the math placement exam this week or next week at the latest. You need to take it before you come here. The earlier you take the exam, the earlier your academic advisor can give you your schedule, can register you for your courses. She cannot register you without that score. So you cannot get your schedule without that score. If you wait until you're here, you may not get your schedule on time. This is the link to get more information and to access the exam. The test is about 35 multiple choice problems, algebra, trigonometry. You can take as long as you want, but you must take the test at one time. You cannot leave and come back or save it and come back. You have to take it one time. You can use a calculator. And don't forget to press submit to submit your test. Some students said, I took the test, and when we looked it up, they finished the test, but they didn't press submit, so we didn't get the test. So make sure to do that. Any questions about the math placement test? All right, we have one more webinar. We hope to see everyone at this webinar. It will be about engagement at Suffolk University and at Into Suffolk. The presenter will be Rachel Emmelock. Many of you know Rachel's name through emails or other ways. She will be bringing in some Suffolk University students and former Into students into the webinar to meet you and to answer your questions from a student perspective and to show you all the great things on campus to do to have a wonderful experience here. We hope to see you at our next webinar. Please make sure to contact us. Yes, please.
When will it be? The next webinar?
I'm sorry, you want to go back?
Yes. No. When will it be? I mean, this particular webinar. Okay. Arrival and engagement. Okay, on 23rd, I suppose, right? We
Yes,
got it
this
on our
one.
email.
This one's different. This one's in the evening because the students aren't available in the early morning. So this webinar will be at 8 p.m. in the evening next week.
Sure.
We really want you to stay in contact with us through our Instagram accounts. We also have a student experience website, and we have a student experience email address for general questions. into@suffolk.edu. If you want to join our WhatsApp group, please fill out this form and we will include you in the group. We already have many of you already in there. So we'd like everyone, all new students, to be in our group so that we can stay in contact with each other, and a great way to ask questions and to meet other students. All right. Any final questions right now?
Yes, I had a request to make. All the important links which you have like showed us throughout this particular webinar, could you please just email to us? I mean, like I can definitely email you first, asking for the links for the which were mentioned in this session, and if you could just.
Well, I think the best way is we're going to have this PowerPoint on our student experience website, and then you can just open the PowerPoint yourself and reach all the links. If you want to, email me and I will send you the PowerPoint directly, and that way you'll have it yourself. I think that's the best way to go about that. And for those watching the webinar, the PowerPoint is also in the link to the webinar, so you can find the webinar and the PowerPoint link together. All right, I'm going to stop recording.